What took you from making 6 to 7 figures at your business?
Well, the key to any business is if you give people what they want or need, and this is not my quote, give people what they want or need, you'll become successful. If you solve people's problems, you'll become wealthy.
Yeah.
Is this your Lamborghini?
It is.
I guess, what do you do for a living out here in Houston?
So I have a digital marketing company.
How long have you been a business owner for?
12 years.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
Probably $4.3 million.
Do you come from a lot of money?
No, actually, no. My mom is a Trinidadian woman. My dad's American. I wouldn't say it was poverty, but it was tough. But we always put God first. And, with God, everything is possible.
How important has that faith been for you in the success of your business?
Everything. Faith is everything to me. God is everything. And I do believe when you don't have faith, you lose excitement, you lose motivation, you lose passion, and you don't really have much of anything. God can turn anything around in your life.
Without faith.
In Florida. And I will say this, a lot of people think just, don't rent. No, you actually can rent where you live, and you can rent what you own. So there's a different philosophy that I have when it comes down to building equity in real estate. It drives your business. People buy into you and they buy into whatever you sell. So regardless of whatever your network is called, I'm gonna get to know you, we're gonna connect, and then whatever else that you have, I'll support that. But I'm buying into you first. So that's number one. Number two, you cannot give up. Even if you don't get the ratings, you don't get the support you need, you gotta keep on going, because you never know in that one moment where someone will see what you're doing and it just has a breakthrough.
People buy offer where you can get a .online domain for just 99 cents for the first year. So if you're serious about taking your business to the next level, securing the right domain is key. So use code SOHK to get your .online domain for just 99 cents for the first year at www.get.online/SOHK1. But with that being said, let's go get this next interview. Sir, question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do for a living out here in Houston?
I'm in the recycling business.
You're in the recycling business?
What is this?
I started the channel in Austin. I
All
grew
right.
to about 7 million followers. I interview business owners all over the country. I've interviewed like Mark Cuban, the president of Nike. Could I ask you just a couple quick questions for you?
Sure.
Appreciate that. So how long have you been in recycling for?
30 years.
How did you get into this business?
Man, lucky. I thought I was going to be a trial attorney, and just this opportunity came up, and I fell in love with it, and that was it. The path took me.
Yeah.
It chose me. I didn't choose it.
I mean, what was the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Enough.
Could you give me a range maybe?
A lot.
Did you have to borrow money from banks or take on
Man, I
investment?
borrowed money from everywhere I can get. It
Yeah.
didn't matter what I had to do, and then you got to get creative, and had customers put in capital, and I returned a certain way. I mean, Look, man, I probably could have gone broke probably 4 times in the last 30 years, and you got to keep finding a way.
What was the best financial advice that you ever received throughout your career?
So I did a mistake. I went into recycling. I put the second largest recycling company in the United States. So one of my advisors was the chairman and CEO of Anheuser-Busch InBev, and he told me, Rick, why would I talk to number 2 when I could go talk to number 1? So if you're ever going to talk about something, tell me what you're the best at, not what you're second best at, right? Nobody cares. So what are you the best at?
Yeah, what's your name? Largest recycling company in the United States. But my biggest takeaway from that interview was how he talked about when he had to borrow money, he would get it from everybody. And there were almost 3 to 4 times where he went broke. It's that relentless mindset that a lot of these entrepreneurs had that have led him to building one of the biggest businesses in the entire country. Great. Is your Rolls Royce?
Yeah, bro.
What do you do for a living out here in Houston, Texas?
I'm an entrepreneur, man. I've been a business owner for about 14 years.
And I go all over the country just asking business owners their best advice to new entrepreneurs. Is it cool if I ask you a couple quick questions for the channel?
Sure.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
2020, 16 million.
$16 million.
Yeah.
And what's the greatest lesson you've learned about entrepreneurship over these 14 years? Like, what's a lesson about business you'd give to somebody that doesn't have a great mentor right now?
Believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't.
Have you ever been broke before?
Oh yeah, we donated plasma for gas money. We actually did so for 14 years. We've been in business, but the first 5, it wasn't so good.
So what was that turning point towards financial freedom for you?
At the time, my wife was like, we were donating plasma, and she said, not with her face, but with her, well, not with her words, but with her face. She said that if I had the opportunity to do it all over again, I would not. Basically with her face, like I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. And I read into that, and so it took me up. It turned me up. And then I had this daughter over here, and that changed the game for me.
What's the best financial advice that you ever got from a mentor? Like, if there's a lesson about money that a mentor taught you that always kind of stuck with you, what's that advice you'd pass on to the younger generation?
Stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough. That means keep the expenses low whenever your money is high. Don't be in a rush to actually get the coloring and all the jewelry and everything like that. I was making $30,000 a month with about $3,000 or $4,000 overhead. It wasn't until I had millions saved where I was forced to go from a Kia Optima to a Maserati. In that same year, that's when I bought this cash.
So you ran lean for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, 1 in 4 millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck in today's world. From your perspective, what keeps people broke in today's world?
Scrolling, watching other people live their life versus getting it after themselves.
And what was the deepest life quote that you've ever heard?
I'll see you at the top because